our first video in this wellness series, we talked about meditation and how you practice it in the morning. Is practicing affirmation and visualization, something that could follow on after a meditation session in the morning?
Before. So it would definitely be part of the same package, if you could say so. So basically, and that's what they talk about in the Miracle Morning. The meditation is a great way basically it's a great way to start waking up your brain and to get rid of the negative thoughts. So if you prefer with meditation, like I said during that first video, you erase the page. You built a new page from scratch. That's what's happening. So you wake up in the morning, you have all these, I had like a bad night and something like this, and I don't feel great today. You do your meditation, you erase everything. And because you erase everything, you have blank page in front of you. So now you can build the page the way you want. You can write whatever you want. And this is where you're going to start writing affirmation and visualization, because they're going to start building those positive vibes. So yes, meditation is definitely a huge part of it. And I recommend to do meditation before, because it's going to put you in the right mindset to start your affirmation and visualization.
Awesome. Are there any other little tips and tricks that people could incorporate into their day to help build their self-confidence?
Lots of things. So another one that I really like, it's a game that I do with most of my clients, is just to challenge them to do one thing that makes them feel uncomfortable every day. So it's a long run game and it works very well, but it's like, try to find that little thing, as little as it is. It could be talking to a stranger in the street or at a cafe or something like that. For some people, it's very intimidating because it's a lack of self-confidence right there. But basically, it's about getting out of your comfort zone. And so I like to challenge my client and say, okay, try to take something on that's going to make you uncomfortable every day, like a little thing just like that, just to push them out of that comfort zone. That's one of my favorite one. Some other ones that I have as well, still about getting out there, is to help someone else. Simply like, when you start to switch your attention from yourself to other people, then self-confidence disappear kind of. So if you think about, I'm afraid to go talk to a stranger, self-confidence will become important right here. But if you say, I'm gonna help that lady because she's pregnant and she has to carry all those groceries to her car, it's way different. The action will be the same. At the end of the day, you're still talking to a stranger, but in the first case, it's talking to a stranger, while in the second case, you're actually helping someone. So when you think about helping someone else, it actually takes out the self-confidence, the lack of self-confidence that you might have. So I always encourage people to take the opportunity to, I call that contribution, to have as much contribution as possible for people.
Awesome. And I guess that also kind of, if you change the narrative of how you're looking at a situation, so rather than, like you said, talking to a stranger, it's helping out someone who needs it, instead of saying, what if I fail? It's like, well, what if I learn something from this, or what if I gain a new experience? Is it kind of about changing the narrative to help build the self-confidence?
Yeah, it's the difference between seeing the glass half empty or seeing the glass half full. At the end of the day, it's the same glass. It's just like a different way of seeing it. And like you said, it's a difference of narrative. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, I know I've learned so much from this session. Is there anything else that you'd like to add to the people watching about how to build self-confidence and what it can mean in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I could give you maybe like another tip as well that seems obvious, but we don't always think about it. And it's simply to like groom yourself and dress nicely. I love this one because it is something actually fairly simple, but that many people kind of forget. But it's true that when you get out of the hairdresser, you feel like a new person, So when you're kind of grooming yourself, it actually gives you that kind of fresh look and gives you the power and that type of things. And so when you dressed up as well, it's the same. And I remember there was I had like a coaching session with that coach back in Canada, and so I remember he was making us doing that very funny exercise where he was asking us to walk around the room and to imagine that we were wearing a crown and a cape. And so he was like, okay, think about how would you have to walk if you were to wear that crown and a cape, and you realize that your whole body actually changes. You actually becomes more straight and taller and that type of things. And you kind of walk like this pretty much. And so this, because I simply change a physical thing right there, it actually changed my self-confidence. So it could be like little tips like this, like, we talk about this a few times in the videos, is your physical will affect your mental state. So think about that. If you put yourself in a confident physical state, even if you don't believe it, by the way, if you just put yourself in that confident posture, it's going to boost your self-confidence. So it's very important to think about that. And also the last thing is, whatever you're not confident about, you need to remember every time that you succeed on something. I know that for you, for example, it's about baking. We were talking about baking in the previous videos and all of that. Is when you are not confident about a new thing that you want to take on, you got to remember the first day you started to do baking, you were not great at it, but now you improved. And the more you practice, the better you become. So it's exactly this. It's about sometimes we have a lack of self-confidence because we're trying something that is too complex. So instead of looking at the mountain, we should simply look at what is the first step that I could take to then get better and better and better and better and better, and finally being able to have that self-confidence to do that. But yeah, there's so much more that I could add to this, and literally, like, I really invite you guys to send some questions if you have, because we can bring a lot more to this, and so we can discuss on more tips about self-confidence. But don't let self-confidence get in the way for you to do anything, because you all have such an incredible potential. It's just a matter for you to turn the volume on and turn your confidence on, and you're going to see that the sky is the limit and you can do whatever you want.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sofian. And like Sofian said, please leave us any questions or comments or thoughts in the comments below, and we will answer them for you. And if you have any experiences that you want to share, anything that you've found that has worked for you in these videos, please let us know. We would love to hear your feedback. And join us next time for another video in our wellness series on how to improve your well-being and overall happiness. And thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
See you guys. Bye.